I used to drink up early. I like the way it tastes. All right. Peace, love, health, and well vibe tribe. Like and subscribe. Help your boy break away from that 9 to 5. My name is not important, but what is the fact that I'm coming to you on behalf of Sacred Self Healing Center, where the heart is the center for healing. Understand that when you come here, this is spa day for the soul, chicken noodle soup for the spirit, Manny and Patty day for the ego. Understand that this is a hard hat area, and self development is the construction site. So, with that being said, we do not use divinations or diviners to spy cars, harm on people, any of that stuff. All right. If uh if anything, tarot and oracle alike was originally meant to give guidance and to give understanding on things that wasn't quite so clear on a person's hero journey. So with that being said, I love to keep the integrity of tarot. Um, if you are interested in a free or donation based reading, only thing you got to do is double tap that screen, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I need you to type I love me in the chat. All right, give me 1 second. Let me post that. Nope, that's files, not notes. The file app and the note app look similar. It looks similar. They're both yellow. Uh, so if you would like a donation based reading, or if you would like a free reading, only thing I need you to do is type I love me. And I will add you to the list. All right, let me go ahead and put some hearts in the chat. I should have did this before I got live. All right, let's go. We got some hearts in the chat. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I guess we're gonna start with just timeless collective reading. Um, we're gonna shuffle them up. Come on, y'all. I see we got a couple people in here. Go ahead and double tap that screen, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Yeah, 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 yeah. Come on in, come on in, come on in. For y'all who just came in, want y'all say hi to Phyllis. This is my baby girl Phyllis right here. All right, say hi to Phyllis, everybody. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with today's timeless collective reading, and then we can get to the individual reads. Okay. All right, so the first card we got here for the current energy of today's timeless collective reading is going to be the Seven of Wands. Now, the Seven of Wands represents finding solutions with personal desires. Um, here, when you dive deeper into the Seven of Wands, you understand that um, the seventh meaning success or victory, meaning finding solutions to problems. This success that we speak of might come with a bit of challenges, with a bit of testing your faith, and it might cause you to become enter in a situation or circumstance where you have to feel like you have to stand your ground. This And most of the time when this card come out, this is external influence, but it's external influence for people who might want better for us, or this might be external influence where people have suggestions on a particular decision, or maybe, whatever it is. So let's dive a little bit deeper and see where exactly are we feeling the test. And we got another card, right? Thank y'all for the likes. Come on in, y'all. Get comfortable. Oh, I need to charge my phone. My phone is not charging. All right. So the second card that we have here in our timeless collective reading is going to be the Five of Pentacles. Okay. So the Five of Pentacles represents conflict. It represents conflict, loss, and it represents when you combine the energy of the five and the energy of the pentacle, it represents conflict or loss, even loneliness in in the realm of the earth element. That could be people, places, and things that we attach to, not necessarily spiritually, but the things that we can't take with us, our cars, our clothes, et cetera, et cetera. So the combination of these cars, the seven and the five, is telling me that we really pushing, we really striving, we really want to move forward, but we feel like at every step of the way, um, there's some sort of discontentment, right? One way or another, we keep pissing people off. And I always say this: look, if you doing something right for you, and somebody got something to say about it, then guess what? We're not even worried about them because they just filtering themselves out. Remember, we only supposed to um worry about what we can worry about, right? At the point where we start worrying about, let's just say if I want to go back to school to be a doctor, right? And at that point, people is more worried about, what they might lose than what I might gain. Then I don't need to worry about them people, right? I need to focus on me and what it is that I got to do. So I'm going to pull one more card because I feel like this Five of Pentacles is not a good card to end our current energy on. So I want to see if I can get some more information before we go to the best course of action. Okay. So we got the Seven of Wands, which means like there's some sort of power struggle happening right now in our life where we have a wand, meaning we have a desire. But everybody, like we got maybe grandma saying, hey, maybe you should do this. Maybe grandpa, maybe uncle, maybe mom, maybe dad, et cetera, et cetera. All these people have suggestions about our life, right? And I know me when I was going through my worst, I'm like, look, man, I don't need all this stuff, man. Cause where was y'all at when I was when I was, how when I was getting into this situation? Look, give me a couple dollars, let me crash on your couch or whatever I need. Just give it to me and let me figure this thing out. Because at the end of the day, I got goals, I got dreams. And when I listen to y'all, it's taking me off of my path. When I try to stop and slow down and negotiate myself with people and try to bring people, sometimes that stalls me out of my path. So maybe I need to get more solid on my path and where I'm going before I try to, you know, expand, right? So then we move forward to the Five of Pentacles, and the Five of Pentacles is saying that because of this power struggle that we suffering from with the Seven of Wands, where we got a bunch of people, it's too many cooks in the kitchen, right? Um, because of that, uh, we feel alone. We feel conflicted. We feel lost. We feel like nobody understands us. We feel like, you know, people just don't get us, or they don't want to get us, or people always trying to change us, or you know what I'm saying? Like people want to stay stagnant. They don't want to grow. And then that leads to the High Priestess, which is a major arcana card. Now, understand when we're talking about major arcana cards, this is major life changing energy. No matter if it's going to be slow and gradual or fast and hard, this is going to be an energy that's going to be prominent and dominant in your life for weeks, months, and possibly even years to come, right? Uh, so I feel like this loneliness that we has suffered and experienced, um, I feel like this loneliness that we experienced, has really caused us to go through a metamorphosis, our isolation of sense. And our isolation of sense has got us more in tune with our intuitive abilities. And the reason why is because we took the time out to actually go within ourselves, right? Um, we took the time out to actually ask ourselves questions like, am I in the right or am I in the wrong? Even if I am in the right, what could I do better next time? When somebody do wrong to us, how can I communicate that better, et cetera, et cetera? Being introspective is one thing, right? But being able to not only be introspective, but to put yourself in everybody's shoes is very, very important. And I feel like that's just key to being the spiritual or the whatever people that we say we want to be. I feel like that's very key. And the reason why is because it's one thing to walk it and it's another thing to talk it. But when you don't walk it like you talk it, when there's a disconnect between what you think and what you do, what you feel and what you think and what you do and all that stuff, then you know things can, get scary. But it is what it is. So yeah, if we're going through a period of isolation, if we're going through a period of wondering who's going to be there and when, understand that this period is just a period of growth. Understand that this period is a period where we need to turn our eyes inward and look at ourselves and say, okay, if I was to meet another young lady, if I was to meet another young man, or if I was to get another business opportunity, if I was to, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, would I be able to not only perform when it's needed, but would I be able to capture the moment and turn it from a single moment to long-term success? Okay. And I think the way we answer that question is going to be with the Queen of Swords. So I'm going to accept this for face value as our best course of action. I really don't think that we need more cards because hold on, let me plug up my laptop, y'all. Let me make sure I'm staying up with the chat because my phone be freezing and sometimes the chat be freezing on my phone and I need to plug up my phone too. So I definitely got to plug in a laptop, right? But the Queen of Swords is here. Oh, it's 55 degrees today. I might need to step out, right? So when we're talking about the Queen of Swords, this is how can I describe the Queen? This is divine feminine energy meeting swords energy. And when the divine feminine energy meets the swords energy or in the mental plane, um, you get truth and justice, right? You get truth, even though it may be blunt, even though it might cut deep, but it's still going to be graceful because truth, allowing yourself to see the truth and allowing yourself to speak the truth, allowing allowing the truth to flow, um, is going to give you a certain level of brain heart coherence, right? Now, the opposite card of this Queen of Swords is actually going to be the King of Cups. Is actually going to be the King of Cups. And so the reason why I say that is to give you an idea of what type of energy that the Queen of Swords bring. The Queen of Swords bring a certain level of truth and purity to a situation that most people won't be able to see or deal with. And the reason why is because there is a balance between the lower Dantian and the higher Dantian, meaning that elementally speaking, the person is between air and water, right? Where the queen is going to be emotionally balanced, but also logically balanced as well, right? Whereas the king of cups would be logically sound and emotions. You know what I'm saying? So best course of action with this card, I just say um allow yourself to see the truth for what it is and don't let it get you down, don't let it bog you down. Alchemize it, right? Um One key thing about the symbolism here in this card is that she has her left hand up and open as if she's inviting something or she's directed energy. And how a lot of people interpret this is she's actually open and receptive to reality, and she's never going to back down from a challenge because she see the truth in all situations. Because the high priestess went and got a certain level of mastery, right? We are able, how can I say this, we are able to enter the battlefield gracefully and come out unscathed because awareness is key. And I'm sorry, but a lot of people just refuse, and their level of refusal disallows them to actually. How can I say this? Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to plug up the phone because they're not truthful with themselves. They aren't allowed to really see things from as broad as perspective as they might think they do, if that's a safe way of saying it, because they're purposely giving themselves a blind side. And because they purposefully giving themselves a blind side, then they're going to be blind. All right. So with that being said, it's been an honor and pleasure to deliver today's timeless collective reading. Uh, Again, the summary is that no matter who's pushing your buttons, no matter what direction they're trying to push you in, let go of whoever you need to let go of, and take a level of isolation as a period where you get to review. Thank y'all for the likes. Double tap that screen, y'all. Come on in and get comfortable. We just finishing up the donate collective read, and then we're gonna open up the floor for individuals in one moment. Oh yeah, I forgot to check the chat because I forgot my phone be freezing. Let me make sure I ain't missing nothing. Shit, I don't know if I could trust the chat. I don't know if I could trust the computer either. What's up, Bright? Okay, Bright is in here. Let me check. Let me check. Who else? Somebody else came in. Sorry, y'all. Like I said, the chat be freezing on my phone. So when I don't, if I ain't checking the computer, then sometimes I miss y'all chat. So I don't be trying to ignore nobody. It just multitasking. On the fly. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, though. So that's going to be it. Like I said, man, we're going to get discontent energy. We're going to get energy that's going to be, perceived as negative. Sometimes people going to have good intentions for us and it just don't work out that way. But at the end of the day, the seven of wands is saying always stick to your guns. Always understand that your dream matters too. Your goals, your desires matter too. Not just what other people tell you, not just what other people want for you, right? It doesn't matter if they 20 years older than you. It doesn't matter if they've been at this job 20 years longer than you. It doesn't matter if they got more money than you, or they closer to God, or whatever they want to hang up over you. At the end of the day, I thank everybody for their considerations. I thank everybody for their suggestions. I thank everybody for what the knowledge they imparted on me. But at the end of the day, I gotta stick to what I know. Um Now, I will say this before we go. The seven is the number of solutions to problems. So what I would say is that maybe some of the other suggestions that people has tried to give us, maybe it was hit or miss or something like that. But only a fool will turn down wisdom, meaning that um it's one thing to be ignorant, not knowing something, but it's another thing to be presented with knowledge and then refuse it and then go make a mistake and then say that you didn't know when you refuse the knowledge, right? And uh 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 I think that it would be smart of us to actually consider all suggestions, right? Just because we don't accept these suggestions doesn't mean anything. If you notice, we got one or two that stands above the rest. So maybe we could pick and choose what spirit or our friends and family, maybe we could pick and choose a couple things and just leave behind, right? Because you remember the seven of swords is really, sometimes you can take on too much, right? And I'm gonna lead a reading at that. Let me catch up to the chat. Sidhu Namaskaram. Lies and bullshit. No content here. Oh, I need you to prove it, buddy. Yeah, I need you to prove that to me. Where the lies at? We welcome more challenges. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead and shut him down. All right, I'm gonna pull me a card or two or three or four real quick. All right, y'all. So if anybody wanted to get a read in, we got a couple. Oh, I guess we could do some tarot, some oracle. Double tap that screen, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, donate to reciprocate. Remember, everything that you donate goes directly to food, shelter, and water. Listen, you are here. You are ready for the next level. There ain't no reason not to be. All right, so let me pull me a card real quick, and then I'm gonna pull a card on the ghost that's watching over. All right, so let's pull a card for the ghost that's watching in the back. All right, I got me a card. All right, Bright, you ready to get you one? Pull you a quick one, just a quick little one too. You see my baby Phyllis right here? Look at Phyllis. Look, this that leaf. This the leaf right here. That new growth leaf that was boiled, that was balled up when I first got it. This that leaf right here. So that boy fully going. Oh, that's my baby girl, Phyllis. Got about, I'd say, about 1.5 inches of new growth on that baby. I say we got about 1 inch or so on that baby. All right, Bright. You still ain't named her yet. You gotta give her a last name. Her name Phyllis, but she need a last name. What up, Sal? How you doing, sis? Siren Johnson. I mean, not Siren Johnson. I'm drunk as fuck. Phyllis Johnson. Knock knock. What's happening? Double tap that screen, y'all. Hit that like button. What's happening? What's happening? What's up? What's up? Uh oh. Uh oh. All right. So this for the ghosts. All right, ghost. You got Knight of Swords. All right. So this is for the ghost that's been on the channel. We got the Knight of Swords. So this is taking an aura quiz. That's what's up. I ate a sandwich. I ate one bowl of cereal and I ate a sandwich earlier. I ain't gonna lie. I'm hungry. I ain't even gonna lie. Your boy over here hungry for real. You know, it's kind of tight over here. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to go apply for food stamps again. All right. This is for the ghosts. So ghost, you got um the Knight of Swords, okay? So the knight represents the fire element, and it represents the number 12, which equals the number 3, which talks about growth and expansion. Because if you know anything about the knights are always forward moving, right? So this knight is led by the intellect. So what that's telling me is that you are very headstrong right now in this phase in your life, and actually you are quite determined on success of a particular thing. um what I would say is that the Knight of Swords sometimes can get quite rambunctious because they has found a particular level of wherewithal and energy. And so sometimes the Knight of Swords can be overly passionate and be too quick to jump into a fight, and realize that sometimes getting into the fight uh is harder than getting out of it. And so the Knight of Swords always recommend that we always ask the right questions before we dive into a fight, right? We ask the who, what, when, where's, why's, and how's. We ask for proof. We ask for, whatever it is that we need to make sure that we getting what it is that we need. So let's get best course of action for the ghosts. Let's get best course of action for the ghosts real quick. Come on, y'all. Can I get another like, please? Can y'all donate to the channel, please? All right, so here we go. Best course of action for the ghosts. Best course of action is going to be the Temperance card. Actually, I don't see no other way. Um, The Temperance card is a major arcana card saying that this is going to be a major life change. The 1 + 4 equals the number 5, and the number 5 represents conflict, loss, and change. I think that this is a severe warning from spirit that you are on the verge of losing something, and the reason why, sorry, I was catching up to the chat, and the reason why is because of our inability to remain cool, calm, collected. Like I posted on my story, uh yes, this what you've been through is real. Yes, how much you've grown is real and all of that. But are we still progressing? Or are we still holding on to things that's going to lead us straight off of a cliff? Right? When the temperance card comes, this talks about being able to do the right thing at the right time. This talks about being able to be in control of your emotions, not holding on to spite and hate and anger until the right time. No, when the temperance card comes out, this is saying that we being faced with reality, we being faced with decisions. And how we move forward is going to have very long lasting consequences. So the more we can get righteous in our frequency and be able to do the who, what, when, where, whys, and hows to make us better, the better it will be for everybody. So, in closing, as Peter Ghost, what I want to say is that when we talking about uh actionable steps to improve our life, and we get the I'm about to say the high priestess, and we get the temperance card. The temperance card always tells us to uh consider moderation, right? Consider balance. Consider operating in truth. All right. So bright, can I interest you in a reading? What about you, Si? If you still in the building, if that's your real name, you better like the video. Yeah, I can read for you. I don't know where the beautiful bright at though. While she playing. All right, bright. So since you was here longer, I'm gonna give you just general energy, maybe for the next 24 hours or whatever. Maybe if you want, it could be a timeless reading. Ooh, okay. Well, I guess we just figured out what card we was gonna get, which is the Knight of Wands. I like this card for you. Let me deep breathe on this one for a second. Come on, y'all. We got 5 people in the building. Go ahead and double tap that screen, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We got 2 people waiting in line, but after that, the list is free. If you want to donate $1 to skip the line, you may do so. Right? Check the description box for all of the information on the channel. All right. What your donation gets you, where to donate, all of that stuff. So the Knight of Wands is the current energy. I really believe that this might be a personality trait that you can welcome into your life versus somebody else carrying the trait and coming in to your life. Double tap that screen, y'all. So the Knight of Wands is actually the double fire energy, right? And I feel like you resonate a lot with the fire energy, but I feel like your fire has been quailed, right? It's almost like I feel like your fire. Don't you know how like you got the pilot light on the stove where it's only just enough gas, just and when I say just enough, it's only just enough gas flowing on the pilot light just to keep lit. Well, that's how I feel like you've been living for a long time, where it's just like you got a fire, but it's only been lit just enough for you to be alive. And I don't like that. I want to feel like you living a fulfilled life. And of course, it's not up to me to decide. But when you grow attachments to people, then you kind of want the best for them, right? Uh, so the double fire, right? When you combine the knight with the wands, right? Now this is going to be total opposite from the knight of pentacles, right? And the reason why I bring that up is because we've been getting a lot the Knight of Pentacles a lot on our channel, right? And so the Knight of Pentacles brings stability and progress, but it also denotes long-term success, right? I always say with the Knight of Pentacles, it's slow and steady wins the race. And the reason why is because is fire element with the knight, meaning that is somebody who's looking to go out and achieve, right? They got a fire in their belly, right? Remember, the knights are the warriors of the deck, but it's kind of slowed down in the earth because when you're talking about success in the earth realm, oftentimes you're dealing with long-term success, buying houses, buying cars, saving up for the future, having kids. That take 9 months just alone. You know what I'm saying? So when we're dealing with earth element stuff, this is long term. So when we're talking about the Knight of Wands bring the energy of enthusiasm, of passion, and forward motion, right? The Knight of Wands is always in motion. Now, do the Knight of Wands always plan well? Nah. Do the Knight of Wands always see things through? But one thing about the Knight of Wands is that the Knight of Wands is never the Knight of Wands is always ready. The Knight of Wands is always up for a challenge, right? And I want you to be open for that, whatever it is, right? So let's go ahead and get you best course of action. How do we welcome the night? Because it feel like I'm saying nine, and I'm like, all right, well, if it feel like I'm saying nine, then that means other people gonna be saying they're gonna be hearing nine. So, but the Knight of Wands, right? How do we welcome in this Knight of Wands energy into our life? How do we rekindle that flame, right? Like Charmander, right? Hold on, I keep forgetting. I'm looking at the phone for the chat, but I gotta check the computer for the chat. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second, y'all. No, this is for Bright. Sorry if I disappointed you. What's up, y'all? Can I get a couple more likes on this video, man? We had 80 people to come in and out of here, and I only got 3 likes, man. Help KP get boosted in the algorithm so I can take care of my family, take care of my future family, rather. Come on, y'all. Help your boy out, man. Your boy over here struggling. Every day I'm struggling. Every day I'm getting richer and richer and richer. I painted a clearer picture, and I'm getting richer. Oh, I like that. Every day I'm getting richer and richer and richer. I had to paint a clear picture, and now it's clear. I gotta get this. I gotta get this guap and flip it, stack it and flip it. All right, might have a little something right there. What's up, Chinese letters? What's that? 111 jailbreak? I don't know about that. All right, Bright. So here go your best course of action. How do we get that fire back lit? Watch it be the Knight of Cups or something, Page of Cups. Ooh, Emperor. I knew it was. I had a feeling it was gonna be some male energy. Ah, okay. So Bright. What? Okay. So all right, my brain going overtime. Let me get my thoughts together. Okay. So first thing first, let's break down the card for it first. Now, the card here is, I believe, the Aries card, the Emperor. Now, this is the number 4 of the major arcana. Now, understand that when the major arcana cards come out, this is going to be either slow and gradual or fast and hard, but this is going to be a dominant, prominent energy in your life, okay? So, in order for you to bring in the Knight of Wands into your life, right? You have to tap into this Emperor energy. Now, I do think this Emperor energy is an external force that can ignite the fire within you, but the thing about this external force is that you're going to have to submit yourself to somebody that you trust to guide you. I feel like this is going to be very, very key for some of the lingering things that may be plaguing you. And the reason why is because when we talk about the emperor got the biggest fire in him, right? The emperor is the emperor because he wants to dominate the world and make the whole world his empire, right? The emperor is here to keep the empire cool, calm, and collected, while the emperor is out dominating. See, the emperor doesn't isn't sitting back worried about defense strategies. The emperor isn't sitting back thinking about how to rationalize portions for 30 years. No, the emperor says that if it's something I want and I need, I'm going to go get it, and ain't nothing gonna stand in my way. But I really see this like a military general, where I can see you going through like some intensive, like, I want to say boot camp, but maybe not physical, maybe mentally, emotionally. Whereas is that we take the handicap off, we take the band-aid off, and we really put some neosporin on that thing. You see what I'm saying? We let some air hit it, let the wind hit it a little bit, and we really nurture whatever needs to be nurtured within us. Um, but the way through the process, if you notice, is it ain't too many water, it ain't too much water here, right? We see mountains and stuff like that, stone, fire, right? And what that's telling me is that the way through this next chapter, right? The way through fighting or finding this fire again is not through emotions. It's about setting your mind up in a particular way to where you can handle whatever it is that come your way, even if the enemy of your mind is your own mind. Ooh, KP, KP, stop that. KP, stop that. No. Even if the own enemy of your mind is your mind, right? I want to be able, or not I, right? I want you to be able to build a fortress strong enough that nothing can penetrate. And whenever it is that you want to come down off your mountain and chill with the muggles, chill with the who's from Whoville, the average folks, and grace us with your presence, you able to do so cool, calm, and collected, right? But again, it's going to be through logic, and it's going to be through you finding the fire, finding that spark. It's not going to be through an emotional thing. The emotions should be on the back burner right now, because what we want takes a business mindset. All right. So unless you got any questions, comments, or concerns, I'm gonna leave the floor open for a second while I reset the deck. But I will go ahead and ask Siren to make sure she dropping them green hearts in the chat because she's up next. Well, unfortunately, I'm the king of pancakes, so you might be barking up the wrong tree. No, I'm just playing. I'm just joking. I ain't saying that you know what I'm saying. But if the goal, okay, if the goal is the king of cups, right? That's perfect that you got a goal. If the goal is the king of cups, then we just got to figure out point A to point B to point C, right? We at point A right now, right? We got to make sure we solid and where we at, and we got to make sure we solid at what we currently got on our plate, on our agenda right now. And then we can start doing the short-term goals, days, weeks, even a month or two could be a short-term goal, right? Then we can start looking at medium-term goals. 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and then we can look to long-term goals, a year, 18 months, 2 years, 3 years, you know what I'm saying? And we can fluctuate because of the emperor energy. We're going to be able to balance that double fire energy, so we don't have to worry about the fire burning us out, because the fire is going to be the fuel to keep us going. We just got to make sure we got, like I always say with particular cars, like with the Wheel of Fortune car or with the Knights, we got to make sure that whatever's guiding us is going to get us there. Right? Each one of the Knights has a fire, right? Meaning that they got a tank full of gas, right? They got good night's sleep. They'd have planned for this trip. Now it just depends on where they going and why, right? It depends on what's their motivation. Remember, in psychology, there is no behavior without a motivation, whether it's subconscious or not. Whether it's a person got a itch to scratch, or they trying to just find something new to release some stress. It's always something, right? Nothing happens haphazardly. So, are you saying that you just want one car, and then you take the best course of action, or you just want one car, period? All right. So the card that you got here is going to be the Page of Cups. Um, I really like this because this is Earth meets water, meaning that this is grounded energy in the realm of emotions. So the pages representing the earth element is also the number 11 of the tarot line, the tarot story. So this is a gateway. But the gateway that you're going through with this emotional stuff, uh, you're not the same person going through the gateway. You understand what I'm saying? You're more mature. You're more aware of the people, places, and things around you. You realize that you thought some people was just purely innocent, and their negativity is actually purposefully done, is what I'm hearing. Like, people been testing your waters on purpose. It's not because they ask, it's not because they unconscious of their actions. They're so conscious of their actions that they want to test you to make sure you're conscious of your actions, to see if you just respond like the average person would, or if you're going to respond like the person that you're going to become would. You understand what I'm saying? And because you understand this, because you're able to keep your emotions under control, you're able to receive messages from spirit. I know a lot of people get mad when I say this. And I'm not telling those people, I'm not saying that those people is wrong. But whenever there's a fish in the cup, when in this card, this isn't representing Pisces. I'm sorry. This might be a Pisces card, but that fish do not represent Pisces. The fish represents the connections to the subconscious, the connection to the divine. This represents telepathy. This represents clairsentience. This represents clairs. Again, the clairs is available to you because your cup runneth over. Because you realize that these people is more fucked up than I knew, and I need to not be niece, daughter, whatever, cousin. I need to live my authenticity and teach people, heal people, help people without them even knowing. And I feel like, again, you being in tune with your intuition is going to guide you to where your attention need to go. Right? You just, I always tell people, don't go into a situation, don't walk in a room looking for red flags. But if you see any yellow flags, don't ignore them. If you see any red flags, just don't ignore them. Just don't. What's up, Fairy? How you doing? I feel you. And my thing is that if you call me your son, then I'm gonna expect you to treat me like a dad would. And then if you can't treat me like a dad would, then we need to sit down and think about the son father dynamic that we have. You seem better. What's wrong? You don't like my stream? And I'm all right. But yeah, it don't have necessarily had to be family, but it's what I was picking up on was the people, places, and things around you. I feel like I said, you get tested on purpose. It's not like I'm being tested because spirit working through them, a positive, happy spirit. No, these people probably have channeled bad spirits in the name of Jesus, or channeled bad spirits in the name of whatever, and they use that power for bad. Just like yesterday when I was on live, you know, I always be wondering. I never said wonder. I always kept a close eye whenever people would be on live or whenever they be recording a video and then they throat they start choking or they lose their train of thought. I never thought people was lying, but when it happened to me a lot, and then I caught it yesterday and it made so much sense to me. It made so much sense, but it's just being able to recognize stuff like what happened to me yesterday. She said dynamics are assumed. But you mean with me, or are you saying with the people? Cause I don't mind being corrected. You know what I'm saying? If you're talking about me, I'm just talking. You know what I'm saying? I don't speak in definites. Like, whatever I channel is always right. I don't read like that. But like I was saying though, like how I felt it yesterday, whereas like people would send you negative energy, man, and they would do it on purpose, and you would think that these people was cool, calm, and collected, and they not. And so, as long as you are aware of the disruptions, and as long as you are aware of the emotional influx, because we already know the water means emotions. So this means that this is something is going on. You know what I'm saying? Cool, calm waters mean ain't nothing going on. But this is big water. So this means that this is big emotional times. And you being able to pay attention to the cup, this just represents spirit. Remember, if you remember, the Christians, I believe the fish is a representation of Jesus, of the spirit, just like the dove is a representation of spirit. You see what I'm saying? So this fish is a representation of you being able to get clear instructions on what to do and how to do it in real time. Now, whether it's going to speak through other people like readers, whether it's going to speak to you through a billboard or a commercial on TV, you never know. But just be open to those messages. Whenever this card come out, Queen of Cups come out. It's a couple cards that I always say are cups that's cup cards that's saying, I got a message for you. Spirit got a message for you. Right. So this is one of those cards. Spirit has got some messages for you. And I think you're going to be getting downloads in real time. I think you're going to be shown some things that's going to maybe even surprise you. Uh, yeah, you can go ahead and post your question, man. Double tap that screen, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you would like a free or donation based reading, I need you to double tap that screen, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I need you to type I think is I love me to be added to the list. I think I got one person on the list right now that we haven't started reading for yet, and then after that, we can go ahead and pick up on the list. Also, Siren, was you saying that I was assuming certain dynamics, or was you saying that you deal with that? Troll Okay, so to sum up the reading in one sentence, what I would say is that um the water stands out to me the strongest in the card. And what the water is saying to me is that the emotions are going to be tested, right? You might be feeling emotional today or maybe in the next day or two, but emotions are going to be tested. Every single time I look for a card is always damn near at the all right. So emotions are going to be tested, right? And the second part to that would be receive the messages in real time, no matter where it come from. All right. So emotions are going to be tested, but receive